Hey everyone, it's Tyler Strike at Universal Rackets, and today we are going to be going over how to deal with the wind. If you struggle with the wind while playing tennis, then this video is for you. We're going to be going over tips and tricks so the next time you hit the courts and there's wind, you will be able to use it towards your advantage. So the first thing, the wind. The number one thing that you have to do when you're playing tennis and you notice that there's wind, just like today as you can see the barriers, is you need to test out which way the wind is going. So how do we know which way the wind's going? It's very easy. A, you can look at the palm trees, you can look at the flag, or B, you can do it the old-fashioned way. All you're going to do is you're going to lick your finger like this, go stick your finger up in the air like this and feel which way the wind is going. So basically, there are 4 different ways that the wind can be going, and then there's variations of it, right? And then it can also be swirling. But way number one is when the wind is coming directly towards you. So once again, I'm playing right now, I'm hitting, and the wind is coming directly towards me. It's blowing right in my face. What does that mean, guys? If the wind's coming directly in my face and the ball's coming to me, what does that mean? That means the ball's going to be coming faster to me, and that means when I swing, it's going to keep the ball in. I can hit bigger because I know the wind's pushing the ball back towards me, right? So I can go for more when I hit. Now the opposite, the wind is coming at my back. Or right now, look, the wind is coming towards you guys, right? So when I hit the ball, what's it going to do? The wind's going to push it more forward, right? So if the wind's coming directly towards my back, straight ahead, right? What does that mean? That means I have to play with more spin. That means I have to be a little bit more conservative. Why? Because when I hit, if I swing and I overhit, the wind is going to carry it and really push the ball out. Now, as you can see the barriers right now, which way is the wind going right now? The wind's basically coming right towards my face like we described, right? So when I hit, if I'm playing a match right now, I'm going to try to go big for all my shots. Why? Because I know that the wind's going to keep the ball in. Now, if there was a changeover and I switch sides and I'm on that side, then I would try to play more conservative. Now, if the wind is coming this way, it's coming from my right, directly from my right, what does that mean? The ball's going to move this way. So if I try to go down the line, the ball's going to maybe curve a little bit over towards the alley, which it's doing right now. It's coming this way now, right? The wind's coming more this way. Now, if I have the wind coming from this way, if I have the wind coming from the left, when I try to go cross court, maybe it's going to pull the ball out. So if you have the wind coming from the right or left, instead of trying to pinpoint your shots, maybe you're going to aim with a little bit more margin. Maybe you're going to aim more towards the center of the court. So again, if the wind's coming directly to your face, you're going to try to what? Maybe go bigger because you know that the ball's going to get pushed back in. If the wind's coming directly towards your back, you're maybe going to play a little bit more conservative, more with spin, because you know it's going to carry the ball out. If it comes from the left or the right side, you're going to play more towards the middle of the court. Now, the faster the wind, the more difference it has, right? The ball will move. So again, make sure you aim for the middle of the court and you play with tons of spin. So that's where to hit. But now let's talk about positioning where to be. When the ball is coming to you and there's wind, okay? I'm not talking about hitting the ball over. I'm talking about receiving the ball now. When I receive the ball and there's wind, watch what it's going to do. The number one reason why players go wrong when there's wind and not coming directly towards them is because this. They hit the ball, right? It's slow. The slower it is, the more the ball's going to react to the wind, right? So it's a slow ball. They wait for it and then, they can't get it. If you ever play with wind, what you have to do is you cannot let the ball come to you. You have to go to the ball. Before that ball can even move or react towards the wind, you are not waiting for it. You are moving right up to it and trying to take it before the wind does anything to it. So again, if I'm playing with the wind and someone hits the ball up super high, I am not waiting for it whatsoever. I am moving up to that ball and hitting it. I'm not letting that ball move. That is a big thing. So again, I'm just checking the camera because we are dropping a lot of fire right now, right guys? So again, if you can, number one, figure out which way the wind's going, adjust your game towards the way the wind's going, and then play with tons of spin and move up to the ball, you're going to be way better off. Now, the next big thing, what will the wind affect? The wind is going to affect your toss. When you're serving, you're going to have a lot of trouble with the wind because when you toss the ball up in the air, it's going to move your toss if it's super windy out. So what do you have to do? It's very easy. If you want to have less of a reaction from the wind on your toss, all you're going to do is toss your ball a bit lower. The lower you can toss the ball, the less time the ball is going to have to move. So if it's not a really windy day, I'm going to maybe toss the ball this high. That was a bad toss. But if it is super windy out right now, all I'm going to do is maybe toss the ball as half of the height. Again, I'm going to toss the ball like this instead of super high so it can't really react, okay? So toss a little bit lower. But then also, right, what are we going to do? We already went over to this, right? If it's coming directly towards my face, maybe I'm going to toss the ball a little bit more out in front because it's going to push back. If it's coming to the right this way, maybe I'm going to toss the ball more out to the right. If it's coming from the left, maybe what am I going to do? I'm going to toss the ball out to the left like that. And if it's coming behind me, right, if it's coming this way, maybe I'm going to toss the ball a little bit closer to me, okay? So for the toss, if it's coming from the right, if the wind is coming from the right, you're going to toss more right. If the wind's coming from the left, you're going to toss more left. If the ball's coming from behind, you're going to what? If it's coming from this way, you're going to toss more behind. And if it's coming up front, you're going to toss more out in front. The last thing I'm going to give every single one of you, okay? Maybe your opponent has not watched this Tennis with Tyler video yet. A lot of players, they have trouble with the wind because they do not know how to deal with it or they don't watch this YouTube video. So make sure to share it with a friend. But if they're your opponent, they might not know how to deal with wind and they're going to have a ton of trouble, okay? If you can learn how to deal with wind and you can hit the ball with height, you're going to be all right. So the last thing I'm going to give to you, if you're playing a match, all you're going to do when you're playing, you're going to be hitting the ball higher in the air. Once again, when I hit, I'm going to be hitting, that was not good, here we are. I'm going to be hitting the ball higher in the air. That's going to allow the wind to maneuver my ball. And if my opponent does not know how to deal with the wind, they're going to have a ton of trouble hitting it, right? Because they don't know. If you know which way the wind's going and you feel good with it, you're going to be fine. But if you're playing someone that doesn't like the wind, if you hear them complain about the wind, if they're like, if they're getting really frustrated, hit that ball up high and let the wind self-destruct them. Now, if you guys like this video, I hope you guys will be better off when you guys are playing in windy conditions. I hope eventually you guys will almost like windy conditions more than an average day because you'll have this leg up on your opponent. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, if this helped you, or if you absolutely hated this video, please let me know in the comments below. Make sure to check out my Instantly Improve My Forehand and Instantly Improve My Serve ebook. It's on sale, link in the description. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. Watch me do some tennis dances, watch me hit some tennis balls, watch everything behind the scenes. Click the link in the description. I'll see you guys next time on court. Have a good one, guys, and happy hitting. And remember, find which way the wind is going, play with tons of spin, make sure you adjust your serve toss, maybe go a little bit lower, and play with absolute height.